Here's your first alert weather forecast with meteorologist Jason Livia.
After a couple weeks of very wet weather in the Mid-Ohio Valley, we're finally getting to a bit of a drier pattern as we head in further into the second half of August. And within the last 2 to 2.5 weeks, we've received quite nearly 8 inches of rain, specifically at the Mid-Ohio Valley Airport. Now, there are certainly other areas of the region, especially on the Ohio side of the river, that got several inches higher than this. But it is our official measurement for the month, and almost 6 inches of rain above what we usually are at this point in August. And for the month in general, we're well over 2 times our normal amount of precipitation in August. And all this rain has still led to a couple areas that are still under a couple flash flood warnings as we head into this evening. Currently, flood warnings in place around Duck Creek until 7 p.m. And with some good news, the creek is still draining. However, it has been on the slow side. In Maxburg, in Ohio, it is still just above that minor flood stage at just over 13 feet, but just a little bit downstream in Whipple, it has lowered just below that flood stage, 11.5 feet or so, and this will continue to drain as we head further into the night tonight. Plus, the Ohio River has also crested overnight last night and is slowly dropping as we head into this evening. We should not be seeing any issues from the Ohio River as we head into the next couple of days, but we are still looking at some rain as we head into Wednesday night and then into Thursday morning. Temperature-wise, we'll be staying in the upper 70s to low 80s, but we do have that rain Wednesday night to Thursday. Now, when it comes to the timing, we're looking overnight. So the daytime hours for both Wednesday and possibly on Thursday as well should stay on the dry side, but between Wednesday night and Thursday morning, there are a few heavy downpours possible as we go through those overnight hours. So even with the dry weather today and what we're looking at for Wednesday, we are looking at a marginal risk for a little bit more isolated flooding in the region, but this will be in isolated spots, not like any widespread flooding we were seeing over the last couple of weeks. For right now, 82 degrees on the Jandale Skycam, winds at about 3 miles an hour and plenty of blue skies all across the region, and that will stay the case through the night tonight. Upper 70s to low 80s in the Mid-Ohio Valley and beyond in both Ohio and West Virginia. A little bit warmer down towards Charleston and Huntington, closer to those mid-80s. We'll hover in the low 80s for the next hour or two before temperatures start heading back down towards the 60s overnight tonight. We'll be dry through the night with temperatures falling into the mid to low 60s by the time we start getting into tomorrow morning, which for people going back to school for the first time in Wood County, especially tomorrow, it is looking pretty all right. Mostly those mid 60s. We could see a little bit of fog around that morning time frame, so make sure you are keeping an eye out for that if you run into any of that fog. Then the afternoon, we are looking at the low 80s, and we could see a little bit of extra cloud cover as we are looking at that rain once we get into Wednesday night. But after Wednesday and into Thursday, we are looking dry again Friday, and we do have another round of rain possibly on Saturday. Next week looks even cooler. So Phyllis,